it's Barbie with the Collier County Public Library and a special video post for Halloween on literary witches to enjoy all year long. All of the items I am talking about today are available in some form through Collier County Public Library, so check out our website at collierlibrary.org. As long as we have had women on this planet, there have been witches. Well, what is a literary witch? She is a woman whose literary work transgresses society's accepted boundaries. She is too old, too powerful, too outspoken, too eccentric, too whatever. Let's start today with Shirley Jackson and the short story that you never forget, The Lottery. If you haven't read it, you will never look at a stone the same way again. It is a perfect, and I don't use that term very often, short story. And it is set up with such skill and with such detail by the author that it still shocks me at the end every time I read it. Do you want to know more about the woman whose name belongs in the same category as Edgar Allan Poe and Henry James? Then you need to read Shirley Jackson, A Rather Haunted Life by Ruth Franklin. Find out that she was a loving but deeply conflicted wife and mother. She called herself an amateur witch, and she had a vast collection of books on witchcraft. Our next literary witch is going to be Zora Neale Hurston. And we'll start with Their Eyes Were Watching God. This book is a classic of the Harlem Renaissance, and it explores the life of Janie Crawford, who is ripening from a vibrant but powerless teenage girl into a woman in control of her own destiny. It is set in Central and Southern Florida, and it is finally being appreciated for its enormous influence on African American literature and women's literature, and it often appears on best book lists. If you want to know more about Zora Neale Hurston and her amazing life, I'd like to recommend this documentary called Zora's Roots. I don't know if you're aware, but Collier County Public Library has an incredible film collection, and this one is a favorite of mine. You will learn that she grew up in America's first planned Black community called Eatonville, Florida, and that her grave actually remained unmarked until 1973. She did, of course, die, as many writers do, penniless. Her grave remained unmarked until 1973 when another writer, Alice Walker, love her, traveled to her website and marked it. I'm sure we will be talking about Alice Walker in another video. Our next literary witch is Flannery O'Connor. We're going to start with her book, A Good Man is Hard to Find. Flannery's style of writing is sometimes referred to as Southern Gothic, and one of her best-known quotes is, "The truth does not change according to our ability to stomach it." And while she may not be for everyone, I like Fearless, and she qualifies. To find out more about Flannery O'Connor and her colorful, peacock-filled life, read this book. It is called A Good Hard Look by Ann Napolitano. One of my many obsessions is books and films where writers are characters. Sometimes in a fictional life, you can find insight into an author that you enjoy. Today, the next one we're going to do is Emily Dickinson. Well, for me, it starts and ends with her poetry. How do I feel about her work? If you haven't read her poetry in a while, shut off whatever device you're viewing me on and do so now. That is how I feel about her work. Dickinson avoided most human interaction, and during these times of forced withdrawal from the public, she is a perfect companion. For a lyrical retelling of Emily Dickinson's life, read this book, Nuala O'Connor's debut novel, Miss Emily. And we end today with Virginia Woolf, patron saint of brilliant, defiant women everywhere. She gets bonus points from me for being such an incredible gardener. Why read Mrs. Dalloway? Well, because it shows us how our brains work and how we perceive the world. She invented a narrative form that changed what a story could be, all with a story that spans just one day. Did you know that one of the choices Virginia, because of course I'm on a first name basis with her, had as a title for Mrs. Dalloway was The Hours. So definitely pick up The Hours by Michael Cunningham, which has won, I think, every major literary prize, has won literary prizes out the wazoo, deservedly so, and was made into an Oscar-winning film, which I also recommend, and is available through the Collier County Public Library. Well, as always, thank you for your time today. Please leave any questions or comments here or email me at the address on the screen. And let me leave you with this quote: "Witches are moonbirds. Witches are the women of the false, beautiful moon." That's Amy Lowell, who also belongs on this list. Happy Halloween. Thank you.